Hey guys, Thomas Cicely Jr. here, aka Mustached Tom, and here we are again with another movie review. It's been a while, so I thought I'd check out the new reboot, Rings, following a young girl named Julia after this random airplane crash happens after this guy claims that he watched a video and was called that he would die in 7 days, and thus the entire plane crashes, and so on and so forth. And it doesn't really have much to do with what happens, and Julia ends up finding only the tape after she finds out her boyfriend is a part of this group that apparently all have watched the video, and I guess they all watched it at different times, and she picks it up from this girl who was really close to dying, and then she was in there. She saw a little bit of Samara, who is the ringleader, of course, and from there we sort of just follow her as she gets these context clues via visions, and she sort of just says, "Hey, a thing," and then she goes in that direction, and we sort of just follow her. Her acting ability isn't really that much to uh, boast about. Um, and the other thing, they spent a lot more time uh, on the exposition on this whole tagging someone thing about tagging someone else to watch the movie in order for you to survive. Like that takes up a bit of the middle section of the movie, and then we sort of end her travels to the actual location and so on and so forth. Um, I would say the original Ring movie spent a lot more time actually developing her backstory, the Samara's backstory, and how she was actually kept in a sort of location for a while. And we actually see more clips of that in the original, and in this, we really just go from scene to scene. Like, it's a bit more sped, it feels like it's a bit more sped up, and it feels like, oh, there isn't much going on here, but you know, I guess I'll get into spoiler territory now. 240, here we go. Uh, so if you have not seen this movie or the original, you would not know that Samara is actually the bad girl, and she intended to trick this one individual to letting her free, burn the body, and so now she can apparently go even, her range, I guess, can go even further now, which I guess in a way doesn't even really make sense. Because, I mean, she had the ability earlier in this movie to give someone their sight back and then kill that individual, and that being her father slash the priest that sort of went through this sort of thing about killing her, and you see that little backstory. I feel like that entire section was rushed again, and it felt like there was just a lot more rushing in this movie. Um, and it tried to do terrible jump scares, and most of them were saved for the third act. Um, and the other moments were just as bit ridiculous. I felt one of the more odd choices in this movie was the music. It felt like this was almost like an action film based off of the music. Like the music to me in a horror movie is actually a lot more important than it's led on to be, I guess. Music can set an entire tone, and it felt like the tone of this movie was action oriented, and this is not an action film, and we barely get to know the characters at all, and that's really quite a shame. You don't connect to the characters, so if they watch the movie and they're going to die in the 7 days, you're like, yeah, whatever. That's how I feel about the character Julia, the character we follow. Uh, and the movie doesn't, again, even focus that much on Samara, so it feels like another one of those just unnecessary reboots that just, it just happens to be a thing that came along now, and it feels a bit odd that this would be a movie that would be chosen because I thought The Ring was fine. The original movie was fine as it was. Um, so yeah, that's the thing. If I were to give this a grade, I would give it like a 3 out of 10. And I guess that's even being generous enough as it is, considering the acting isn't really that good. The story just sort of goes from place to place. Um, Even within the third act, you still don't really care. So, I could drop that to like a 2 or even 1 out of 10. It's just not really that good of a movie. Um, so my recommendation is if you are interested in seeing this, preferably you would want to watch the original version. So with that being said, I'm Thomas Sicily Jr., aka Mustached Tom, and I'll see you guys next time.